Good evening. I'm Maria Laukai with the New Dawn FM News. The headlines. State of Emergency Controller appreciates people's cooperation. Bougainvilleans had to look ahead of implications of prolonged state of emergency. ABG Health Secretary emphasizes on persons of interest and persons under investigations, and Bougainville 3 national MPs to be quarantined in Port Moresby. The news in detail. State of Emergency Controller and Deputy Police Commissioner Francis Takura, while updating on state of emergency today, said that he really appreciated people's cooperation in the last 2 days. SOE controller said that the SOE lockdown might neglect some of people's rights and cause some disagreements, but it is for the betterment and well-being of everyone. He said that the police officers' reports from North Bougainville for the last 2 days said all the places were very quiet and people are cooperating very well with the others. Mr. Tokura said that there has been no major incidents reported so far, except people at Mairai Hill in Kono constituency, Buin district, who fired guns upon police officers, but luckily there were no injuries. He said they will not deal with that incident as yet, that they have serious case in hand to deal with the containing the COVID-19. SOE controller said that people are slowly understanding the SOE orders and following them honestly. The deputy SOE controller in Bougainville, Mr. Thomas Rivet, has called on Bougainvilleans to start looking ahead at the implications of a prolonged state of emergency. Mr. Rivet asked that the people start looking at the likely implications in terms of food security, education, and other things. The deputy controller said he is concerned about the public servants, who most of them do not have gardens, and the ways they should be taken care of in terms of food security if there is going to be an extension on the state of emergency. He said food security in the region is an area that needs immediate addressing because as security measures are tightened up on vessels carrying goods and cargoes into the region, it will affect everyone. Mr. Robert said, as Deputy Controller, he is starting to look at ways to address food security if there is a need to extend the SOE for the next 6 months. He said a meeting will be held tomorrow morning with the Disaster and Emergency Committee to start looking at ways to address food security. You are listening to New Dawn FM News. The ABG Health Secretary, Mr. Clement Totawun, during the COVID-19 update today, emphasized on the persons of interest and persons under investigations, saying people are still confused. Mr. Totawun explained that the persons of interest are those that have come in contact with those people that have come from countries that have COVID-19 cases, or people who have traveled out to countries that has cases of COVID-19 and have returned in the past 21 days. He further explained that these people are referred to as the persons of interest because they are being exposed to the virus. There were some persons of interest that were being reported in the region, and the medical team has been working around the clock to ensure that they are checked, assessed, and excluded from the COVID-19, he said. Mr. Totawun stated that this medical activity is going on. There is another group of people called persons under investigation. These are basically persons of interest that have gone into further investigations by the medical team. At the moment, there are no persons under investigations in Bougainville, Mr. Totamun said. The secretary said he will be meeting with the medical team to get an update if they have actually started investigations on the persons of interest over the weekend. Bougainville's 3 national MPs who flew to Port Moresby today for the discussion of state of emergency will be quarantined in the capital on their arrival until the lockdown is lifted, says SOE controller Francis Tokura. Mr. Tokura said that the plane that brought medical supplies for state of emergency assistance boarded 3 MPs back to Port Moresby in the exception that they have further more important affairs to attend to. State of emergency controller said, according to the state of emergency orders, no passengers, planes and ships are allowed in and out of Bougainville, but the 3 MPs as an important reason to be exception. However, he said that the 3 MPs will not return to Bougainville and will be quarantined in Port Moresby until the state of emergency is cleared. Finally, to end the English bulletin, here are the news headlines again. SOE controller appreciates people's cooperation. Bougainvilleans urged to look ahead of implications of a prolonged state of emergency. ABG Health Secretary emphasizes on persons of interest and persons under investigation. And Bougainville's 3 national MPs to be quarantined in Port Moresby. The New Dawn FM English Bulletin ends on that note. For more news, please visit the 2 New Dawn FM sites on www.bougainville.typet.com, www.bougainvillenews.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and listen to us on New Dawn YouTube page. On behalf of the news team, I'm Maria Laukai. You have a pleasant evening. Here now, one kind news lo Tok Pisin, Maria Laukai, read him. Controller of State of Emergency na Deputy Police Commissioner Francis Tokura emitok hamamas olsem all people iwoklom behind him good state of emergency long last platu day. Controller itok mo olsem this plus state of emergency lockdown by denying rights blongol samplaman Mary na tu sampla inonap one belongen tasol emblong elpimol kita people. A report from North Bougainville, ikam longol police officer, itokol sem last platu day place being quiet through na all people iwoklom behind him good olo SOE order. Mr. Tokura isok inogat big pla incident come up tasol long mountain blomairai lokono constituency inside Lombuin district olebim pairapim gan igolong ol policeman tasol inogat one pla ikisimbagara. Emitok mo sem olino na deal one time this pla incident because he got big pla case istap long hand blongol COVID-19. SOE controller ito all people he walk long kila good through now long all order long state of emergency na only behind him good. Deputy Controller of State of Emergency long Bougainville, Mr. Thomas Robert, he sing out long all people long Bougainville lo look he go ahead suppose state of emergency by go long pla time. Mr. Robert he ask him all people lo look he go pass long side long food security education na honor plus something more. Deputy Controller emi concern long all public servant planti long all inogat garden na oli mas look long way blo lookout mall long side blo kai suppose state of emergency by go mo yet. We talk food security inside long region and one pla area where only must look quick time long em. Before only nap long stop him or lo cargo ship ikam lo region because em by affect him all get the people. Mr. Rabbit also deputy controller and moklo look alongside long food security. No good by state of emergency by go 6 Plamoon. And we talk tomorrow and by meeting one time or line lo disaster na emergency committee long start lo look long side lo kai. You work long Harim News on FM News long Tok Pisin. Secretary long ABG Health Department Mr. Clement Totamun long SOE update long today and been to clear long all persons of interest na persons under investigation. Mr. Totawuni to clear also persons of interest and all display line people who said he come long all country where he got COVID-19 finish na come back lo region long 21 days he go finish. And we to clear more also all display people or persons of interest because only being stopped long all place where he got virus finish. He got a report it also he got sample all people or persons of interest he stopped inside long region finish. Now all medical team he work lo check him all long look him suppose only got sick COVID-19 or no got. Mr. Totamuni talk medical activity by work long go ahead yet. He got honorable line people where only call him all persons under investigation. All these people only been come in contact one time all persons of interest. Now medical team by investigate more yet. Mr. Totamonito, long this time, he no got online is up under investigation inside Long Bougainville. Secretary ito by only got meeting one time all medical team long kisimo update long all one walk all start and finish long weekend. Nalo finish him news SOE controller Francis Tokora ito tripla national government member usa tibing golo Port Moresby tete ba all staff long quarantine inside long Port Moresby usa tibing go long discuss him state of emergency. Mr. Tokora ito balus we being bringing more medical supply below state of emergency kisim tripla member go back long Port Moresby long attend long all important something long have. SOE controller ito state of emergency order ito nogat passenger lo balus na ship only come inside na go outside long Bougainville. That's all tripla member got important reason why only must go. That's all this tripla member ba only non up come long Bougainville enough long finish flow state of emergency. Now this plan finish him New Dawn FM News. Now suppose you like looking more news, you can look long tupla website for New Dawn FM long www.bougainville.typet.com www.bougainvillenews.com. You can look him too on Facebook na Twitter na harim too on New Dawn YouTube page. Makim News Team, Miping Maria Laukai, happy listening.